One looks like Skeletor, one looks like Sally Struthers selling food in Africa. Looking at her pictures before versus now, they're trying to convince you that some miraculous thing has been found and she's making such grandiose headway with her health that she is now on the mend, enough to have been come out of hiding to be at the ceremony. They all seem to be going back in time. Look at Oprah. That's all I have to tell you. Half of these people look like they've been a brand new person has taken over. How, Sway? How? Sometimes you wake up hungry and then you want to eat something, but sometimes you wake up and you know you need to go on a diet, and then people see you, you start to look a certain way, but you try to tell them, I'm on a diet, that's why I look the way I look. And then news breaks that you're sick, and then you realize you're not eating because you are sick, and then they cure your sickness and you start to look better. That would be normal people. However, the person we're going to talk about today, I don't think that was their issue. We had mentioned some time ago about a certain individual looking really, really, really frail, really decrepit, and just horrible. Celine Dion. So then we hear that she's sick. We hear that Celine Dion is sick. All of a sudden I hear that you're sick. And you look an awful lot like a bunch of the other celebrities that got sick. You look exactly like them. Emaciated, gaunt, weak, drawn face, sunken eyes. You look exactly like the same way Madonna looked before she changed a little bit. The same way Kathy Griffin looked the same before she got... If you know what you know, you are advertising child abduction, and all of a sudden you start looking like... Coincidence? I don't think so. Stiff person syndrome, as they say she has. Give me a break. Give me a break. You don't got no stiff person syndrome. You are going through withdrawals. You are going through withdrawals. Plain and simple going through withdrawals. I am just going based on what she's showing me. Now, our theory about it is that she was missing a very vital component that most of these Hollywood stars and elites like to have. It was in low demand. It was during a time when a certain individual was in charge, and he put a bunch of rules over something that no one could really get their product through as efficiently as they could before. But since he's left, another person took over, and that product seems to be back in abundance, because if you saw Miss Dion at the award ceremony versus the person that was there just 2 years ago, I feel pretty good for my age. I got some body pains and injuries and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know that I would take what she's taken to look as good as she looks, but I'd like to know if there is something out there that can help me as much as it helped her. Now, we're going to show you some video, show you the picture, and you can decide if this seems like a natural regression from ill places to better places. You can decide that for yourself. Take a look at and you just decide, and I'll be back. One looks like Skeletor, one looks like Sally Struthers selling food in Africa. How, Sway? How? I have seen multiple people that are celebrities go through this transformation where they look like... Take Kathy Griffin, for instance. She used to look fairly human. And then all of a sudden, she looked like a Muppet that was left in the attic for way too long, covered in cobweb, and then you finally took it down, and the weather beat it up, and it dried out, and it got wet, and it dried up, and then and you're like, man, that has been through a lot. That's what Kathy looks like now. All from a lack of a certain thing. I can't say the name, but y'all please don't put it in the comment section neither. Don't try to be slick and spell it a little different way. YouTube gonna find out. But you know that I know what I'm talking about. Looking at her pictures before versus now, they're trying to convince you that some miraculous thing has been found, and she's making such grandiose headway with her health that she is now on the mend, enough to have been come out of hiding to be at the ceremony. That's what they want you to believe. That it's a medicine breakthrough, miraculous breakthrough in medicine. I don't believe that. Not for 1 second do I believe that. I honestly believe that Celine Dion has had what she was missing for the last 2, 3 years. And it is beginning to take its effect and rejuvenate her back to her old self. More and more of them are going to start showing this exact same reversal. For the time period that it was hard to get, they're in an abundance now, especially with what's going on at the border. And if you know, you know, you're going to see more and more of them coming up with this I've looked and never felt better. In the meantime, though, you're also going to see many fall. And I don't mean ill, I mean away from life. They'll be dead from a lack. The rest of them will recover because of the resurgence of it. Now, there is a reason why the things are the way they are, both with missing kids and absentees at the border and the amount that keep coming in and CPS, all of it is linked. And when you bottleneck it, you see an instant reflection in Hollywood. If I'm lying, do the research yourself. That's all I ask you to do. Go look for yourself and see the differences in how actors looked during a certain time in American history when a certain individual was over things and started to shut down certain processes. Then look again at how they look now. And I guarantee you money, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to see all of them return to this vibrant, youthful look. They all seem to be going back in time. Look at Oprah. That's all I have to tell you. Half of these people look like they've been a brand new person has taken over. Y'all might call them clones. I don't necessarily call them clones. I think they just got that stuff that they've been waiting on that they could not get before in readily supplies. That's honestly what I believe. Celine is no different. You cannot convince me, not one time you can convince me that what she is doing is natural, normal, or was expected. It was not. Otherwise, she would not have to go into hiding. She would not regress to the point that she couldn't even walk, move, and then back. Nope, can't convince me. Me will never know the truth because you can't speak the truth anymore. And if you do, you will no longer be able to speak the truth, or at least not out loud. You can speak to yourself all you want, but no one will hear you. And that's what their plan is, which is why I'm not saying what I know I couldn't say, but you know what I'm trying to say without me saying it. You're going to see more and more actors and actresses and big names that were on the decline health-wise just start to regain their youthfulness. The rest of them, you'll just see them fall out. They'll just die. A little too late. There's not much we can do about it except point it out. There really isn't. At the same time, though, what we can do, the measures that we can take, and we have to take them, is to try and limit how long these people have to maintain their control. That's our job. Remove them from where they have control. Restrict them so they don't have control. But we have to be unified in that effort. We can't be separated. We can't hate each other. We can't be the kinds of people that be like, well, I have this petty issue against that one. And some issues are not petty. So don't come to the comment section telling me, well, y'all had this. Those aren't petty issues. Those are spiritual issues. And it's never petty at all. But a disagreement over this policy and that policy that have no real efficacy over your soul, they can be tossed to the side. And right now, this issue is about the generation that's to come. But if the elites keep wiping them out for their own sake, there is no legacy to be found. And they know this. Our job, stay the course, be strong, use our brains, use our heart, and fight the good fight.